Right then, welcome to Ryan's Road podcast number 19. One more to 20. Don't know why I go on like that at the start. Welcome to the podcast. If you're unfamiliar with Ryan's Road, as I say, this is number 19, so there's 18 before it. So, highly recommend going back to start and having a gander. Mainly because of the way I do the podcast. I always say this, I like to feel that people that have been listening so far feel like it's like our podcast and not mine. I'd like to think that anyway. But if you just want to stick around for this week because you like, I don't know, you come across this one and it's your first one, or see what the fuck he talks like, whatever, then be sure to hang around. Fair enough. If you're on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and ding bells and all that kind of stuff. For the video viewers of this episode, there's a slightly different background because I've got my door open. Because the room I record in is just like a soundproof room I built in my garage, so I have to come out my back door, like walk around my house, come into the back of my garage, and it's hacking it down today. So the little reason you can see my door is because my coat was soaking wet. I needed to hang it somewhere. So there is that, and you might hear the rain in the background, which I don't know, might add a nice little taste to the audio. This week, you know me, I'm always honest, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really got a proper theme for you this week, so I'm gonna do what I do best, and I'm gonna rattle on about life, basically, because it's been hitting me lately, and I've spoke to a few people and like customers and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, they're struggling, man, and I feel for them, and I always try and help and give what kind of perspective I can, but it always seems quite not generic, but it's always the same shit that you have to do, and people get away from it. To give you a bit of relatability on my end, like I say, for any of you that are new, I guess I'll just go with quick basics of, I've got 3 young kids, married, wife, I'm a self-employed electrician. Obviously I do this podcasting. I've also got a channel for fitness where I vlog workouts that I do in the morning, because I do calisthenics, bodyweight training, all that. I take my boys fight club 3 times a week. I try and go myself twice a week as well. So, you know, it's quite a busy life. We don't have any help with like family, like with kids sort of thing. Like no one, nan or granddad or anything, doesn't have the kids like an afternoon or overnight or a week or anything like that. So like lately, the wife's had some health issues with her teeth and some bad dentists and stuff, which has meant I've had to have some days off work, some half days off work, so like she can go either to the dentist or she's just been in that much pain or in that much pain relief she can't look after the kids, so I've had to be home from work, which obviously then has a financial impact. So I mean, I'm recording this on the Sunday evening when my podcast usually goes out Monday morning, but I'm recording it with the idea of it might not come out Monday morning, which when you've got goals can niggle at you a bit, because I'm like, oh, but you know, Monday morning always 6 o'clock, but it is what it is. And right now, I even says to the wife, just had some dinner, and I like the F1, Formula 1, so that's been on today. Started watching a bit of the race for dinner, and then I had a little sponge pudding and cup of tea. Sorry if I'm losing you, but just paints the picture. So I sat there with this cup of tea and my fucking little sponge cake, and the race was on, and I could have quite happily just sat there, just watched the race for the evening, drank my tea, and went to fucking sleep, man. Like I'll often say to the missus, it's why my studio evenings, typically, Monday, Friday and Saturday, that bounces around the kids' fight club, my fight club, the wife trying to get to the gym when she can, when she's not dealing with health crap. I'll often say, like, how can I go into the studio and sit and talk to people about life and how to help them with their life when I'm struggling with mine? But at the same time, if you have been with me all the way and you've seen the first podcast, that's why I do this, to show that it's normal, like to try and normalise this struggle of life that we all fucking have. Because even like I follow The Rock on Instagram, and he'll occasionally put something like where he's gone off fishing or something, and granted it'd be his own fucking lake sort of thing, but he'll say things like, you know, because it's good to decompress and blah, and words it like so plainly, like, but as soon as he says decompress, I'm like, so you've been stressed, and you've been struggling and you got a heavy workload on because you're trying to record your film, do your films, and be fit and healthy, and have a relationship with your wife and relationship with your kids and everything else. Like, most of his content is about more motivational sort of thing, and like pushing people to be better, which is great. A lot of people do that, but I'd be so much more interested if like he'd done a video of a day when he was like, I'm fucking tired today, man. Because like, fuck, he's real. He's a real human. Because we all are. It's just people hide it and show it to different varieties, sort of thing. I'm sorry about the pause. I'm not editing this, by the way. I don't edit them anymore. So pauses, sneezes, coughs, farts, it's all fucking in here. It's how it is. A dream of a day when I've got more time for the podcast and I can tidy it up a bit better for y'all folks. I said that again to the wife earlier. I went, I dream of just like recording the podcast in the day. Can you imagine, like, took the kids to school, everything's settled, house is cool, and like start like my work hour starts by getting in here and talking to you. Anyway, but for now I'll persevere. It's a Sunday evening after a long weekend with the wife and kids, and taking the kids out and looking after them and stopping them from killing each other and teaching them to share, and generally parenting. But yes, in regards to just like mugging through it, one thing that happened recently, I don't know the full story. I say the full story? Oh, fuck's sake, right? Just fucking talk. I got a customer, and their son struggles with anxiety. He hasn't worked for years, and basically he's just in the fucking house. So as I do, that's one of the reasons I started the podcast, I just started fucking yakking, just talking. And he started talking to about, how to better his life, sort of thing, where he should start, etc. and da-da-da. And then his partner works at the Screwfix, which is like the wholesaler where I get my electrical supplies from, because as I said, I'm an electrician. And I told him to like message me that he was getting up to do like a little workout in the mornings, even if it was for just 10 minutes. And she said that, since speaking to me, he's buggered off to live with his nan and granddad for a few days or weeks because he wants to get his life sorted and he's applying for jobs and everything. So her words were, don't know what you said, but it worked. So I can feel a burp coming. And then I was just messaging one of the karting dads, because before COVID and stuff, I used to take my son go-karting. Not heavily, but we'd go to the track at least once a week. Because if you get into full-on racing with go-karting, it's just ridiculous money. And I haven't took him for a good while because I can't afford to take him. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I was talking to one of the dads because his son had done well at a race. And then he was just saying about his struggles and whatnot and coping and life and everything else. So that's why I thought I'll just get on it this week with a podcast about that sort of shit, because everyone's fucking doing it. Every example I find is that people are either openly struggling or there's the facade and then the struggle behind it. There's pretty much always a fucking struggle there. And most of the time people aren't fucking coping, but they don't want to say. And I don't know why. Like, when I think of this thing that I'm doing with my Ryan's Road, like, brand as it was, there's like two things that I want to aim for in the long run. And like, I look at other people that do this sort of thing and they often have clothing brands. So there's like a CrossFit guy that I follow on YouTube, and he's got a clothing brand called, I think it's Hustle Made. So that's how they're pushing it, hustle, keep working, which is cool. But I always have I've always got creative ideas. And I think if I did do anything clothing wise, I have two ideas, which is, and along with the podcast and along my socials of when I'm doing my fitness stuff on Instagram and whatnot, my posts I do there, there's two main things. The first is, as I've just touched on, this normalising struggle. I want to really push to help people to normalise when they're having a hard time or a shitty day or a crappy morning. Like, not even moaning about it, but just like when you get people putting your statuses and things like that on Facebook of like, oh, it was a nice day out sort of thing. How about you just put, today was hard, kids were difficult, like just struggling with the wife, blah de blah, but I gotta keep going. It's like, can you imagine if everyone was just really candid and honest along those lines. Like, I bet half of you are listening to this, but like, I wouldn't fucking put that. Like, why the fucking put? Because if more people did, more people would see how normal it is, and people wouldn't feel so fucking heavy about it. Because most of the time, people have that fucking struggle and whatnot, and then because no one else is fucking talking about it, they think it's just them, and it's like, well, everyone else is fucking getting along. Well, why am I struggling with my relationship when fucking that couple and that couple and that couple and that couple, they're all fucking happy and fine and blah blah blah. But then why do you think it's fucking half the time when people just break up out the blue? It wasn't out the blue. The relationship's probably been fucking deteriorating for months or years. It's just that no one fucking says anything. No one puts anything anywhere. I think it would help to normalise the struggle a fuckload. So that's my one like main point. And then something over nothing is another big thing that I push a lot more with my Instagram and stuff, for my fitness stuff, because as I've kind of gone through my years, I always find things are in extremes. There's always an extreme. It's always this or that. There's always a fucking grey. There's always a middle ground. There's always variants, varying degrees of shit. But people are always like, well, it's this or that. It's like, well, I'm fucking doing it and I'm doing it properly. I'm fucking not doing it all. Well, it's like, oh, but you just fucking make a start, man. You do something. And it's a good, one of the best examples of this is obviously fitness and physical stuff. Because like when I was talking to the lad with the anxiety troubles and whatnot, I started to touch on it. And he says, oh, well, I joined a gym. He was like, but obviously he was anxious, and then he doesn't like the gym atmosphere and whatnot. And I'm like, that's a big, again, that's from like not exercising at all to like going to join in a gym. It's like, that's a far cry. Like, that's a big gap in between not doing nothing and then paying to have a gym membership and going to a place full of equipment and like everything there and da-da-da. It's like, you ain't got to do that. Especially with, I'm not plugging it, but the way I do my fitness stuff, it's calisthenics bodyweight training. So you can do it from home with a door frame pull-up bar and a set of gymnastics rings, which will help if you can't do pull-ups. You can do most of it with that. But I was saying to the lad, like, I was like, you don't need to join a gym. You don't need to pay gym membership. Like, some people don't like going gyms. Like, even if they ain't got anxiety, they just don't like the fucking feel of it. And I said it again, because I think his partner was on about she does like a YouTube video workout sort of thing in the mornings, because he said that she's better than him. But then she also said, because there was a conversation with, I spoke to the lad, and then his partner come in a bit later because I ended up repeating half the stuff I'd said to him. But basically she said, apart from the mornings when I'm on like an early shift when I don't have time then. I went, yeah, you do. I think she had to be in work for 6 or 6:30. And when I said, yeah, you do. She went, well, I'm not getting up at 4 o'clock. I was like, whoa. I was like, who the fuck said 4 o'clock? I was like, I'm just talking about 10 fucking minutes. Like, you haven't got to do a full strength workout. You haven't got to do a full HIIT workout. You haven't got to do a full exercise DVD. You haven't got to do this full YouTube fucking 20-30 minute cardio ab workout bullshit. It's like, cardio is getting your fucking heart rate up. You can sit there and wank for 20 minutes if that's what you're into and that's how you get your heart rate. Do what the fuck you want. I've got a Fitbit, but you get cheaper versions and stuff. But if you can get something that shows your heart rate, it's fucking great because you can actually see. Without that, you just see if you're getting out of breath. But I says to the partner, like, I went, all you need is 10 minutes. If you get up that 10 minutes earlier before work, and you get, either you go straight to doing it, or you get all ready before work, and then you do it 10 minutes before you go to work. I was like, you can get in your garage or your spare room, wherever the fuck you do it, and just run on the spot, jump up and down, do some jumping jacks, drop down to the floor and jump back up, do some lunges, just move constantly for 10 minutes. I was like, fucking sweet, there you go. And I says to the lad, because it's physical at all and he's really into it or anything like that, and I said, look, even if you can't do fucking 10 minutes, do a minute. And I says, like, look, I bet if you got up every morning and went and jogged on the spot for 1 minute every morning for a week, that's more jogging on the spot that you've done in the last 5 years. Am I lying? And he laughed and nodded his head, like, no, you're right. Of course I'm fucking right. Not to sound like a dick, but it's because I know, because I've seen it too much. I've spoke to too many people. I've seen too many fucking things, and that's how it is. People that don't do it, and it's a fucking struggle, man. Like, I've had it with my fitness stuff the past week or so because the family shit's been extra hard. I started to vlog the week for my channel, and I done Monday, Tuesday, and then I didn't work out then until the Wednesday, the following week. And those few days, just because I weren't getting up and doing my exercise, like the decline, boom, drop out. I struggle more with work, or struggling more with like looking after, helping the wife and being patient with the kids and everything else. But then I was then staying awake later because I weren't getting up as early. So then that hump then to get back into it means I've got to have a hard night where I'm like, I've just got to get up in the morning and start the ball again. So like, not only is it hard when you don't do it, but then getting back to doing it's even fucking harder. So anyway, so I says to him like, yeah man, just do a fucking minute. I was like, because that's the thing that puts you off. That's what I meant, sorry. It was like, because the initial hill just to get over and can seem so fucking high sometimes, especially if you're thinking that you've got to get a gym membership, and then you got to see if you don't want to, you think you don't know what to do in a gym, so you want to do the classes, what times are the classes, then you're anxious because of how busy they are, and all this stuff. It's like a whole fucking folder shoved in front of you. Like, fuck the folder, man. Get a post-it note and write 1 min on it, and just do that. Even when I weren't doing my full workouts, I always say cardio is the best, because that's what gets your heart rate up. But sometimes you can fall into the trap of relying more on strength training. In my opinion, for mental health and helping you deal with life, getting your heart rate up and do a bit of cardio is just fucking priceless. Anyway, in the mornings when I've not got up and done my workout, and it's with the kids and stuff, so I don't fully lose the strength that I've gained from my workouts, because that can be hard as well. I'll touch on that in a sec. I'll do, because it's calisthenics, I'll do a couple of pull-ups on my pull-up bar in the kitchen, in between like sorting the kids out and helping the missus and getting ready for school and nursery and everything. And I post all this on my socials, by the way, on my Instagram, and I'll put pictures and little videos and things. And I'll just do a couple pull-ups, a couple push-ups, like some single leg squats while I'm resting on the fucking kitchen table sort of thing. And I'll just do that, so I've done something. Because the two things you get from physical exercise that really help is, I say, number one, the cardio. Like I say, there's just something about getting your heart rate up which helps. I like to think of it from like I really need to learn how to say this fucking word, like a physiological standpoint of how our bodies were designed. Like, here's a good little metaphor type thing. My iMac that I'm recording all this on, it's been a bitch lately. Struggling to keep up with me editing videos, and it's just turned off on me a couple of times. And I've got a friend that works at Apple and talked to him about it. And he says, maybe it's time to sell that up and try and get like a mini Mac, I think he said. And the idea of like, fuck man, this is only 4 years old, this computer. So to think that it's not fit for purpose now is nuts after only 4 years. Right, now think of your bodies and how our bodies were made and what our bodies had evolved into / designed for to be doing. And like my computer, shit's moved that fucking quick. Like, our bodies aren't made for what we do now. Our bodies were made for like hunter-gathering, like scrambling around, being on your fucking feet, getting through trees, climbing around fucking rocks, hunting for food. You got to run to catch your fucking food. You know what I mean? Just being physical, active, moving. That's how our bodies were. That's what we were made for. That's what we were made to fucking do. And we weren't made to deal with like life is fucking easy now compared to then in terms of physicality. We can get away with so much just being fucking lazy. And I really think that's what it is with this whole like lethargic feeling that we get from like just not moving and like not being able to deal with stuff. I really think it's because like almost like when you get zoo animals when they've been bred in captivity, and if you put them out into the wild, like they ain't gonna fucking survive. That's like us. Like we're no longer fit for our like natural habitat. Like it's gone. And the close thing that I really feel gets us to that is doing some exercise, but just like some cardio shit. Running's good. I like running, but I do like more dynamic movement stuff. I feel 'cause it just gets your body moving. Like I say, if you're able to like just jumping jacks and like I struggle with the like burpees at the minute because I'm still struggling with my elbow. But if you just dropping to the floor and getting back up, moving to the side, squatting, reaching, stretching, you're just moving your whole fucking body and getting your heart rate up that way. And it's just something about, like I say, if you could do 20 minutes, a half hour, 40-minute cardio workout, fully getting a proper sweat on, killing yourself, like, that's fucking cool, man. But for most people, where it's, you know, you've got a family, you've got work, you've got interests, you're trying to juggle all these fucking things, and you're telling yourself, like, well, I ain't got time to go to a fucking gym. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe you haven't got time to go to a whole fucking gym, but you could get out in your garden or your spare room or at your front fucking door in your lounge or wherever at some point at some time of the day, and just do 10 minutes just moving around. And I say it just like lifts the fog. I can't put into words properly how it feels. It just really fucking helps with the day. Just for me, just managing my stress levels of just like dealing with customers and messages for my work and going to jobs. And like I said, I've got 3 young kids, wife that struggles with some fucking health shit, mainly a wrist from a fucking car crash we had. Like, just shit, man. There's just always stuff. And that really fucking helps. Really, really does. That's why when this kid was there and he's got this anxiety and I think he's in his 20s and he's never had a proper job, and we've been talking to like the mother, always had it since he was a kid and blah de blah. I don't look at that and go, oh shit, man, he's riddled with issues and he needs to go to a doctor's. Like, cause most people, you need to go talk to your GP and da da. I'm like, mate, I even said to him, like, look, I know it sounds daft and you might have heard it before. I went, but you need to exercise. And the problem is now, that's such common knowledge that exercise is helpful that people disregard it now, as daft as that sounds. It's like, yeah, we know it, that's good for you, and da da da. It's like, do you? Because if you really did, I bet you'd be fucking doing it. You really fucking would. Like, and that's the problem. It's not a secret anymore. So it's kind of just, there's no weight to it. I don't know how to put it. But I mean, if it was like a new thing, people be like, I've never fucking realised. You're like, it's good to be healthy, it's good to be fit and exercise. See, me saying that sounds condescending, doesn't it? Because it's like, yeah, we fucking know it is, duh. It's like, then why aren't we all doing it? It's because it's like, yeah, you can go, those fit, healthy people, and fuck off. Yeah. I'd rather be sat here struggling with my fucking life and struggling with my thoughts and not being happy with my goals or where I'm going or what I'm aiming towards. And mate, fuck off. And that's why I said to this kid, I know it sounds daft and it sounds fucking simple, but half the time, man, the simplest things are the best fucking things. And that's why I said, like, mate, just get up. I was like, and fucking get after it, even if it's a minute, even if you just make yourself stand up and just jog on the spot for 1 minute and stop. I've done all this in the podcast, in separate podcasts and shit, but I'm trying to like breeze over it all because there's a lot of different angles to it. But it's like, if you do something fucking good, like I went, be sure to pat yourself on the back. If you do get up and you jog for a minute on the spot, pat yourself on the fucking back and tell yourself that was good. Because we've always got them fucking demons that are easily coming in to tell yourself, like, you only did a fucking minute. You're a lazy cunt. How long did it take you to do 1 fucking minute? Who the fuck are you? When you join a fucking gym and do it properly, how about you do a full workout? You've got time. You've got time to do a whole workout. You haven't even got a job. Like, what you have to think of when people say nasty shit like that, the only reason they know how to say nasty shit like that is because that's what their brain says to them. Boom. How do you think people can say such horrible, mean, nasty things? It's because your fucking brain tells you it. It says it to them. And then they say it to other people. It's fucking shit. So, when you do something, back to that, even if you think it's little, it's it's a start. No, it's not just a start, it's a start. Don't say it's just a start. Say it's a start. Be fucking proud. Be happy with yourself. Feel fucking good. You did something good. Tell yourself you did something good. Yes, you haven't got to give yourself a fucking certificate and a crown and like, and then a participation trophy. Like, oh yeah, here's a trophy just for fucking turning up. I feel like I'm fucking contradicting myself there. That's with kids. I hate that with kids because that's what makes adults like this. You get kids that are... See, I'm fucking drifting all over the fucking gaff, I know, this week. You get kids that are babbied too much. And like, oh, it's alright, at least you tried, and da-da-da. And when they say, the old saying of like, schools are there, your best years and whatnot. I was like, no. They say school's your best years because they're the years where your parents are fucking doting on you, shielding you from the fucking world, and then they've had that long fucking shielding you and dealing with all the fucking shit behind the scenes and not making sure you don't see any evil or crap or anything going on in the world, that then they get fed up and resentful. So then by the time you finish school, they're like, go deal with the world now. Good luck. I had to fucking struggle with it. Now you can. What kind of fucking parent does that to their kid? Idiots. That's how it is, isn't it? It's like, well, I had to fucking struggle, so now you can fucking go and do it too. No, you teach them when they're younger that what life is going to be like, but incrementally. So yeah, I don't believe in participation trophies, man. They're fucking stupid. It's like life will not congratulate them just for fucking trying. Ever. This is life, not yourself, but life won't. So when they get that, that's why then you get adults that are like, oh, and they don't do anything because they ain't got anyone there to tell them what to do or tell them when it's good and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. From the angle I was leaning to then, but I'm flipping back. So really sorry, this week's all over the gaff. Oh, my battery light's flashing at me. Gonna change the battery. Sorry about that, guys. For the YouTube viewers on the video, you see my camera will only record half an hour. And I've had it once where the battery ran out and I lost the footage. I think that was actually last week's. So I had to jump on that. Oh no, I've lost my momentum. What a twat. Oh God. But, yes, when you've got all that fucking shit in your head trying to hold you back, all them thoughts of, oh no, like, why fucking bother, like, you lazy cunt anyway, no. That's when you have to pat yourself on the back for doing something little, because going from that to that is fucking good. That's what I mean by that when I say you must pat yourself on the back, because you can't emphasise how dark that fucking hole is when you're in it. It's fucking dark. So if you can drag yourself from that fucking pit and put your hand on the edge and just start peeking over, that's... If you were watching a film, like a fucking Disney film, and there was something like that, or there was a character stuck in a fucking hole, and they had a grip on the edge and they were looking over, you'd be like, go on, you're nearly out. You'd be happy for them, right? That's what you got to tell your fucking self, because you've got from that pit and you've got up that morning and you've jogged on the spot for 1 minute. Like I say, sounds fucking daft, but it would make the world a difference, because that's a start, that's something. Something is a huge step from fucking nothing. Putting a brick on the floor where you want to build your wall is way better than not even knowing where the fuck to get bricks from, or giving a fuck where the bricks from, or where the fuck you want a wall, or what you want a wall for. I'm just over here struggling. Fuck it. Yeah. The other thing about physical stuff that's helpful is the goal side of it. So when I touched on strength training, so this can be like in terms of if you end up doing like weighted pull-ups, or if you're going off like reps and things like that. I always say, if you can't do pull-ups, or let's say you can do one, and you did that one every day, just that one, and then by the end of the week or end of week 2 you could do 2 pull-ups, you're telling me that won't feel good? You're telling me you'll be like, mate, I could only do 1 before, I can do 2 now. That would feel good. So that's what I mean. So you get that from exercise in general. So you'll also get that from cardio and health stuff as well. Because, like I said about doing 1 minute, and if I say doing 10 minutes, because people might be like, oh, I can't even do 10 minutes, man. I'm fucking knackered. I'm blowing out my ass. It's like, sweet, right? Do 5. Do whatever you're capable of. So you'll get that like magic button thing I refer to, of just like getting your heart rate up and it lifting that cloud that clouds your vision and your ability to deal with stuff. But also, if you're there and you're like, oh, I used to be gassing at 5 minutes, now I can do 10. Goal reached, achievement. You're going to feel good about that. Because that's what you get from strength training. If you couldn't do a push-up, but then you can. If you couldn't do a movement, but then you can do it. Or if you could do that movement better or stronger or more of that movement than you could before, you're going to feel fucking good about that. And that's what you need when you feel your life shit. When everything's against you, when you feel like there's nothing there, nothing going better. You're waking up every day and it's the same fucking shit, same bollocks, nothing's moving. That is hell, that's chaos, that's the complete opposite of what we want our lives to be. If you're waking up every fucking day and the shit's the same as it was the day before, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that, and you looking forward, know that doing what you're doing that day, if you continue to do that the next day and the day after, then it's going to be no different to all the days before. That's hell. That is death. That's fucking shockingly shit. That's horrible. It's torture. I can't think of any more fucking words for it. It's fucking bullshit. But if you can do something over nothing, if you can do something towards bettering that, again, you haven't got to join a gym, you haven't got to start applying for new jobs straight away, you haven't got to whatever your threshold is, if you can do those things, more fucking power to you. Sort of, some people's holes are deeper than others, no pun intended. So if you can make a little fucking start, if it's just by getting up and doing that minute jog in the morning to start trying to lift that cloud, so then you can look at your problems and try and deal with one at a time. I always say the incremental thing is nuts. With the something over nothing, I always picture having like I always talk about the bucket in messages to people and stuff. I always say picture a bucket under a dripping tap, the slowest fucking drip you can imagine. Fact, that bucket will fill up. Occasionally it might get kicked over or blown with the wind, because yes, life's a cunt like that and it likes to come and fuck up your progress, but you can pick that back, pick up that bucket and put it back under that slow dripping tap, and again it'll start to fill up. And if you get it over half full and it gets knocked over, but you quickly pick it back up, there's still some water in there and you can carry on. You're getting the metaphor, but the slow drip, the incremental thing, just a little fucking bit. You haven't got to turn the tap on full, you ain't got to join the fucking gym, you ain't got to go on the whole big fucking diet. Like, I'm using the physical thing maybe a bit too much, but like with food as well. Oh, I need to lose weight, I need to stop eating so much crap. Well, stop eating so much crap then. Don't then not eat any crap, miss eating the crap, and then be like, fuck, this is way too hard, and go straight back to eating said crap. Be like, well, right, in a day. I mean, my own example, I like biscuits. So, like in the morning, when I haven't worked out especially, I struggle because I'll make a cup of tea and I'll... Each has got their own struggles. Some people might laugh at this, but like, fuck man, I have a pack of biscuits and fucking donuts and whatever. But for me, my hard thing is I'll dunk like 5 or 6 fucking biscuits, and then in the afternoon, if I have a cup of tea, I'll have a couple of biscuits, and then same again on the evening. So for that, I just said no. When I go to bed at night and have that cup of tea, I can have 2 biscuits max with that cup of tea of the evening. When I'm on my good one, when I'm managing to juggle more, because mate, some days are harder than others. That's fucking life. I do the best I can, which is what I'm encouraging you to do, as long as you feel like you're really doing what you can. And I'll have those 2 biscuits of an evening. Some weeks I do better and I'll have none. Some weeks I'll do okay and I'll have 1. But you see what I mean? Like, cutting it out completely, them sugar-free ones are wank. Half the time, if you build yourself up to it. I did the same with my workouts. I've been doing my exercises now since November last year. And I mean, when people ask, again, that same customer with some of the anxiety in his partner, she said, oh, did you notice a difference in your mental health from the exercise? And I went, that's why I did it. I messaged my best friend and I said, we need fucking change. I've mentioned this before on the podcast, and I actually had him on and we spoke about it. And because he was struggling with his drinking and I was just struggling with coping with work and life and family and whatnot. So I didn't say, oh, we need to go to the docs, we need to get fucking medicine, we need to talk to our GP, you know, our local doctor and blah, blah, blah. So we need to fucking exercise, man. We need to get on it. We need to do something. So we started the following morning. He got to mine and he was here. And we spoke for an hour. We didn't do any exercise. Then the next day we spoke a bit less and we did a few movements and we did a couple pull-ups and some push-ups and dips and things. And gradually over time we made that into a little workout. And then that workout become a proper workout, and then we outgrown that workout and we changed the workout to something more intense. Some people think, specifically with physical stuff, that you've got to fucking kill yourself straight away. You've got to ramp up that intensity. Blah, blah, I'm doing my shit, I've got to punish myself. Fuck off. The most important thing is the drips in that bucket. It's the consistency. So I wanted to nail getting up at the same time every morning to do the workout. So that's what I did. And there's the consistency got easier, because it's hard getting up at fucking 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And once I nailed that consistency, we gradually ramped up the intensity. And this is that approach, that something over nothing, that I really want to get out there for people, because I really think it will help them just get the ball fucking rolling. Stop thinking you got to start doing all the shit now when you've got to solve all your life problems now. No, you haven't. Stop. Look at it. Bullet point them. Get a fucking list. Look at what you've got. What can you fucking do something with right now? And if you pick a couple of, right, well, I can do this and that towards those right now. Okay, do that. Make that phone call, send that letter, write that email, message that person, save that bit of money, cancel that thing you'd pre-ordered to save a bit of money. All these little fucking things, and just do what you can. And then if you can do those, but that's too much and you can't look at the rest of the list yet, fuck the rest of the list. Unless it's health related, unless you're going to die from something health related from it. Pardon me, I burped. Or, someone's going to come to your house with a fucking gun. Health stuff, prioritise. Okay? Fuck the money. Crap. No one's going to come and drag you out your fucking house. For the most part. There's plenty of laws around for that shit. Obviously, you'll know your own circumstances, but you prioritise that. Like your health, your family, your home. Then everything else is after. Prioritise what you can, do what you can on those things, and don't stress about what's outside of your level of ability, what you're unable to get. If you need a bigger house, like, I need a bigger fucking house, or I need a house. Don't be like, how do I get that house tomorrow? Think, what can I do now that with the drips, getting those drips in that bucket, those little fucking drips, that over time, incrementally, will get me to the goal of getting the house. Because that's the worst thing. It's like, I can't get that fucking house or that thing today. And looking forward to the future, doing what I'm doing now. If I keep doing what I'm doing now, that's never actually going to happen. It's a lot better to be able to wake up and deal with your fucking shit when you can look at what you're doing and know that, right, I know it's fucking hard and it's still struggling at the minute and nothing's changed yet. But if I keep doing what I'm doing, it has to get better. Like, there's no way that me putting the drips in the bucket doesn't fill up. Fact, it will. Like, the water's going to fill up. It will. So it's hard with my fucking kids, but me putting the time in to parent them and talk to them properly and show them how the world works and how it's right to behave, but also teach them how to have fun and love and care. It's hard, but over time, I always get fucking compliments about my kids not sounding like a dick. But I even say then, I don't go like, oh yeah, my kid's fucking great, da da da. That's what I'm saying. I get compliments about them, but I also say, hey, they ain't fucking perfect because they're kids. Sometimes they're fucking brilliant. I mean, beyond brilliant. They're fucking great. The other fucking 40-50% of the time, I want to wring the fucking necks because they're kids, man, and they push your patience, and you're trying to deal with fucking work and everything else, and you're worried about this and that and whatnot. So when they come bickering out some shit, you just want to go fuck off. But you have to, yep, what's up? Cool, yeah, well, tell you what, I think it's your turn with that because he's had 45 minutes. Okay, cool, yeah. Carry on then. It's hard. Life's fucking hard. Oh, I could have rabbited about, I know I've covered most of this. If you go back through all the other podcasts, I've separately covered most of these points a bit more in depth, especially the incremental thing and whatnot. But just remember, man, fucking, you're not the only one struggling. Everyone is to some degree. Everyone. Every single fucking person is struggling. Even the big fucking CEOs of multi-million pound fucking companies. Yes, they've got a big fucking house and all this bollocks, but they're still looking at fucking deadlines and how can they improve production and this fucking crap and X, Y and Z and blah de blah. Like, some people's struggles are less. Some people's struggles are more. You usually find that there's someone that's worse off than you. Health's the big one. Because most of the stuff that you're probably worried about is like money related or time related. But getting that perspective of, thank fuck I've not found that me or my partner or my kids have got a health condition that's going to like shorten their life expectancy. That's fucking hard to deal with. That's tough. Right, I think I'm going to stop rabbiting now because I have literally just yacked on at you. I didn't have any notes for this week. Like I say, up until just before coming in, not only did I not know I was going to do it, I've said that before, but that's been more a case of like, I don't know if I could leave the wife how she was feeling or if the kids were going to be right at bedtime and stuff like that. But today it was like, I didn't know if I was going to do a podcast because I'm just feeling fucking tired, man. And I'm like, I just want to go chill. But these are my drips, man. I want to podcast for a living, man. I want to do this. I want to talk to you guys. I want to help other people. I want to do it mentally and physically. I want to show them how they can exercise to make their lives better. I want to show them how they can think about their lives so they can handle their problems better. And I just want to be fucking replying to people all day that have fucking got problems and struggling. and just helping, bringing them down to earth and opening their vision and narrowing it, focusing it, and showing them where they can and what they can do and what they ain't got to worry about, when they can worry about. And I want to help. That's what I want to do. And the only way I'm ever going to get away from doing my fucking electrics in the bastard day, which is what I do, is getting my fucking drips in. So that's doing this podcast when I'm fucking tired. And after this podcast, chucking it through a quick edit just to layer the audio onto the video. And then I've got to edit my fucking fitness vlog, my exercise vlog. Then I've got to edit my jiu-jitsu vlog, so I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And I've also got a family channel, which I don't put weekly uploads on, but I try and do a bit. Because the kids like doing it. They like doing videos for YouTube. Plus, it just shows that other dynamic of, like, not only have I got a family, but I'm active with my family. Like, doing my podcasting and my exercise and work and whatnot. When I say, oh yeah, I've got kids, I don't mean I'm neglecting my fucking kids and just having to deal with them fucking arguing all the time. Like, I'm active with them. I actively parent. I spent most of fucking Saturday night working on my son's fucking quad. He's got one of them little electric quads. Went on a credit card. And that fucking went in my IVA. So yeah. Don't get under the impression I'm good with fucking money. I'm on my arse, to be frank. But that's the way it fucking is, mate. With me specifically, because I've had other people before, I'm just touching on this, if any people that personally know me are listening with money. When I whinge about money, it's just because it's better when, after that, I'll say this to my wife after the time, I'm not expecting a reply, it's just better to say it out loud rather than keep it in your head. But ultimately, I don't worry that much about money, because I know for me, it's more of a choice. Like, because I am self-employed, an electrician, and I've got a half-decent name in my hometown for doing what I do, I could book more work in, I could book longer days, and I could work Saturdays, and I could get on top of my bills better and debt that I've got. But if I did that, my wife's mental health would decline, because like I say, I've got no one to help with the kids. If she's not fully there and focused and strong-willed to be able to handle the kids aren't going to get parented right, so they're going to develop issues that are going to problem them in the future. And I've seen enough fucking people, right, that have got money, nice house, cars, but the relationship with their wives and their children is fucking shocking. And when I hear their story about when they were younger and they just put in those fucking hours because that's what they did as the man and earned the fucking money and put bread on the table, it's like, yeah, great, while you're earning all that fucking money, your family needed you and you weren't there. I'll probably do a whole separate podcast about that, but that's the general fucking gist of it. Whilst my kids are at the age where when I get back from work, I do not have to open the front door because they are there shouting daddy, I will be there at that time every day. And I will help parent them for that evening at dinner time and bedtime and in the morning before school and on the weekends, and I will parent them and I will teach them about the world and how the world works and how to get by in the world and how to live. When they're older and I'm coming back from work and I'm going, where the fuck are the kids? And the wife's saying they're out playing with their friends, then fine, I'll put an extra hour or something in then. And I'll do some later days if I need to. Because by then the wife might be working as well, to be fair. Because again, no help with the family, whatnot. She ain't worked since having our first son. So what I'm getting at is, yeah, I struggle with money, but it's a choice because I choose to raise my family over neglecting them for money. I keep my landlord happy, so I keep the roof over my head. Other bills and shit, I've learnt very well now that they can send you nasty letters for months, which gives me plenty of time to try and catch up and pay them that bill. Might be a bit of a fee. Fuck it. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna fuck off. I've stopped rabbiting. If you're ever fucking struggling, message me. Or if you're watching on YouTube, I'll put links in the description to my Facebook and Instagram and stuff. Because I've had the odd person message me on my Facebook page saying, like, what do you do when you're feeling overwhelmed? And I'll reply to them, man. I'll sit there in my van when I'm having my sandwich in the middle of the day and I'll reply. And I'll talk to you. If you're ever really fucking struggling, message me. okay? Just fucking message me. Don't struggle on your own. Come talk to me. That's why I'm doing this. That's the whole fucking point. So don't let life get too fucking much. If you want to know more about the fitness side of stuff, I've got my fitness channel, so that's Ryan's Road Fitness on YouTube. If you want to check out the podcast on YouTube, it's Ryan's Road Podcast. And then obviously the socials, I've got Facebook, it's Ryan's Road 22, and Instagram, it's Ryan's.road. But yeah, if you find one of the YouTube videos, links will all be in the description anyway. So yeah, man. And if you have watched this on YouTube, hit that sub, man. Give me a subscription, so then you can see more fucking videos, and hopefully it will help sort your fucking life out and iron out those wrinkles. What's the time? 9:30. Right. Let's see if we can get you uploaded. I was going to say if you're listening to this Monday morning, but even if I put it up Monday morning, you could be listening to this 2 years fucking later. I'll try and get it up. Fucking hell. Not often you want to say that sentence, is it? Right, I'm going. I am Ryan. I'll be back next week talking some shit about life and trying to help you manage it. Don't be afraid of your day in the morning. Just look at it. Don't be afraid and just fucking handle it. Just do what you can. If the shit that you can't do, fuck it. If it's something like you wanted to get all the washing up done, if you're a housewife, if you want to get all the washing put away, but you're going to have time, fuck it. Like, whatever your problem is, work related, etc. If you can't do it, man, you can't do it. So don't fucking stress about it. Right. I love you all. I'm off.